Good morning, everybody. It is Terry from Forensic Science Academy. Welcome on a Friday. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you taking the time to be here. I decided to do this informal question and answer type of session because we've been getting a lot of questions from students that have or want to join the Forensic Science Academy, which is scheduled to start in April. And my apologies, I am not too sure of the exact date, only because we have one instructor that is still trying to figure out her on-call schedule, but I will keep you posted. At any rate, I decided to go ahead and do this question and answer thing, this interactive meeting, if you will, and to get some of your questions answered about the Forensic Science Academy. Some of you may know me from the Forensic Science Academy. I've been teaching in the Academy since 2001, I think, and that's a long time. And the Academy has been in existence since 1998. But we're going to go over a little bit the background of it, what will be offered to you, hands-on training, the instructors, and I've got lots of questions here from you that have registered. And for those of you who are watching the replay, I received your questions too, and I'll incorporate that in this particular session. So if you have any questions moving forward and this session ends, just send me an email and I will answer those questions directly to you. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm scheduled for about an hour for this session. It may run a little bit shorter, may run a little bit longer. It just depends upon how far I can get through these questions. And by all means, if you do have questions in the chat, just go ahead and post them, and then we'll go ahead and get started, okay? And I'm hoping that all of you can hear me okay. Again, this is just an informal session, and I just wanted to get started right away here on a Friday, rainy Friday. And, you know, it's been crazy these past couple of days here in Southern California. It's been raining a lot. For wherever you are, our degrees are about between 55 and 62. Now, of course, if you're used to colder temperatures than that, my apologies, but I can't handle that. I like the cold, but not that cold. But I'm going to go ahead and get started with this. I think it's in midstream, so let me see if I can get, let's start from the beginning. I think that would do very, very well. Just bear with me for a minute, and we'll get this thing going. Here we go. From the beginning, that would be good. All right, let's see. Let's do this. And let me share my screen. Okay. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. But I'm going to go ahead and get started with this. Okay, so a little bit about me, and again, welcome to everybody that is coming into the room. A little bit about me. There I am in various pictures. I've been teaching in the Forensic Science Academy for, well, actually since 2001. I attended the program when it was first starting off here in Southern California, and that was in 2000. And but fast forward, I was fortunate enough to be asked to become an instructor, and then the program was in a sense given to me, and I've since developed more and more new classes for it. But the basic thing for the Forensic Science Academy is this hands-on training. We are well-known, well-respected program here in Southern California. And I will mention there are other programs that are out there, and my apologies, I know that there's one in Texas, and I believe there's one in Florida. And there's all these other training aspects that are available to you as students, but we try to gear our program just for students. We've had individuals coming from law enforcement agencies and other forensic type individuals who need a refresher. Just last year, we had a couple of individuals in latent print positions from the Sheriff's Department in LA, and they needed to do a refresher. So the program is open to all, but it primarily caters to students. And there I am in the upper right. I've had the fortune, very blessed to meet Dr. Thomas Noguchi. I've written a book about how you can get forensic training. And I try to simplify it in 10 easy steps, but I want you to know that it's not that easy. The steps are easy, but the challenge is to find a forensic job. And I get a lot of questions. Hey, Tara, I can't find one. I just graduated. What can I do? And part of the academy will show you what to do. Each instructor, they are a forensic expert in their specialized field, crime scene, photography, fingerprint, so death investigation. So they will tell you all these little tips and tricks, and that's usually not broadcast in the curriculum, but that's what we do. So I'm an author. I teach at a local university here in Southern California. We have online classes as well, seminars, webinars, workshops. And like I said, I'm proud to say I'm the director of the Forensic Science Academy and the founder of Forensic Training Unlimited, which is this big umbrella that holds all the academy classes, the webinars, the workshops, and things like that. So, that's in a nutshell what we do. Well, one of the questions, and I'll get right to it, is what is included in the Forensic Science Academy training modules? And here is a list. Most of the classes are 40 hours in length. Training time, in-class time, and hands-on activity time equates to about 32 hours, and it's given in a format of 2 weekends a month: Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you look at the screen, fingerprint classification, all these modules have 40 hours of training, because generally we allow for 8 to about 10 hours of your homework. And what I mean by that is you would be assigned to a practicum, a mock crime scene, photography, things like that you have the outside time to do. So it's all included. We build it in there for you. So the Academy is 6 different modules over the course of approximately 6 months. Fingerprint classification, photography, basic crime scene, and advanced crime scene investigation go obviously hand in hand. You cannot take the advanced crime scene unless you've taken basic, and you cannot take the death investigations module until you've taken the basic and the advanced. So one works on top of the other. The friction skin radiology module builds upon the basic fingerprint classification. So that's how we do it. And we've had some students that have missed here and there because of emergencies and things like that, so they're able to make it up the following class, or we do have some online classes that will make up the lecture module. Unfortunately, you are required to be in attendance for each module during the hands-on portion, because there's no way that we can substitute that via an online type of situation. So I think you'll forgive me on that. Fingerprint patterns, we'll teach you about that. I had one question. Can you start the Academy if you are outside of the United States? Yes, you can, but here's the caveat for that. The Forensic Science Academy is about 6 months in length. So you, the individual foreign student, or anybody that is living outside of our immediate area here in Southern California, will need to make arrangements in order to be here during the hands-on training portion. Because again, we cannot mimic or duplicate a hands-on training program online. We can give you the theory behind it, but to actually train you in doing it, that's not possible via online setting. And I know it creates problems. It can be a difficult challenge to overcome, but I encourage you to do the online classes. For 2017, we are developing and creating more online classes that are theory-based with some type of homework that you would have to submit, so our experts can take a look at that. But it doesn't replace the hands-on training portion of that. Okay. One of the things, let me go back. One of the things that I get asked often from students is, I have a degree, or I'm still in school, or I want to get a job in forensic science. What do I do? How come I'm not getting hired? The benefits of taking the Forensic Science Academy, being enrolled in it, going through the program, is this. You will get hands-on training Let me repeat. Hands-on training, and that's what the agencies want. So how can you explain or tell them that, hey, you know what, the agency wants fingerprinting experience. Well, you don't have any, but in the academy, you'll get it. How can you explain if the agency wants, for example, how to photograph a crime scene? There's many, many basic elements of that. Well, we teach you that. There are 3 different views, that basic views that you have to incorporate in your crime scene photos. We teach you that. How do you collect certain pieces of evidence? We will teach you that. So all those things we teach you in this hands-on program, this setting. So I think you can understand why we can't mimic it via an online setting. So that was one of the questions. What are the benefits of this? The benefits is we'll teach you not only about the techniques needed for you to learn in order to sell yourself, quote unquote, sell yourself and market your career to agencies, but it will also show, because you'll be building a portfolio at the same time. We encourage all our students during the hands-on training portion to take pictures, to document, to start building a professional portfolio so you can take that portfolio with you on interviews. Okay. One of the things we're most proud of is all of our courses are taught by forensic experts, photographers, crime scene investigators, a death investigator, and of course the fingerprint people. We have many instructors who have taught with us for many, many years, and most of those instructors, if not all of them, are members of forensic professional organizations. So, you will be taught by the best in that particular field. And that's a benefit for you, because not only are you being taught by the best, but you start to network with them. If any job opportunities come up, are open during the course of the academy, usually academy members are the first ones to apply, because we have already vetted them and that we've already established their professional proof, if you will, because we've been training them. So here's forensic photography, like I said before. We'll do daytime and nighttime scenes because we have to mimic that particular setting, right? It doesn't really matter if it's cold or raining like what we've been having recently. It just matters that you're out there, because again, we're going to mimic that type of opportunity. My favorite is that when it starts raining here, if it's really windy, and try to see the students trying to protect their pieces of evidence. And we like to challenge them in that way, because guess what? That's what's going to be happening in the quote unquote real world. Another aspect of it, it does get hot here in the summertime, and our academy does run through the summertime. And again, that's another element, external element that we like to take advantage of, because it does include, when you're going out in a crime scene, no matter if you're an investigator, death investigator, crime scene individual, those are the elements that you're going to be exposed to. Our crime scene investigation course, again, we'll teach you how to do collection of particular types of evidence, blood evidence, and all these things are simulated for you, and it's classroom safe. But we will be giving you the actual tools in order to do your particular scene. Sorry. In the academy, you will be required to purchase a crime scene kit, a fingerprint kit, and the basic book that goes along with the teachings of the Forensic Science Academy. But here's the thing. I'm hoping that you are a member, or at least looking into becoming a member of the International Association for Identification. And we have used that book, one of the books that they recommend in order to take the certification test for crime scene investigators. So when you go forward in your career, you'll be able to use the same book, the same one in the academy and the same one that the IAI, the International Association for Identification, recommends. So you'll hit 2 birds with 1 stone. Sketching and diagramming, measuring, documentation, we include it all for you. We try to put all these little crazy things for you, because that's the types of things you're going to be seeing. So for example, if there's a crime scene and you suspect there's an empty Coke can, Diet Coke can, that's something that you'll have to train yourself in order to collect. It may or may not be related to the scene, but it's better to collect it, right, and process it than not. Okay. So we teach you those types of ways to observe your scene and what may or may not be included. So you want to think broadly when it comes to crime scene evidence collection. So, and as I stated before, you will be learning to work outdoors in the rain. Well, here in Southern California, it's raining now, but usually sunshine, hot, windy, things like that. All right. I do want to get to some of the questions that I've printed out from some of you that may or may not pertain to you, but I always like to ask or answer these questions. One of the questions I received is, what level of English do you need? You need to be able to converse well with your academy members as well as the instructors, because you will be working in a team. And if an individual doesn't understand or doesn't speak a foreign language, then that's something of can be very challenging and can lead to errors in your mock crime scene processing. I've had some students out of the country. I had one student from Italy, and she did have to master the English language, and she is now working here in Southern California. And that she took the academy a few years ago. So it can be done, and I encourage you. It is an English-speaking program, and we don't have instructors to cover all the great languages out there in the world. So if you have a fairly good command of the English language, you should be okay. One of the things that I think I got a lot of questions about, because they don't know me, they don't know, maybe they know me from social media, or they have experience of taking one of my classes or workshops previously. One of the questions that came up is this a trustworthy academy? I can tell you that, again, the academy has been in existence since 1998. Our founder, Dr. Janice Kavanaugh, is still active in the forensic and law enforcement world. She retired from the academy when I took over the academy. She currently teaches at a local college here in Southern California. We have trained so many students. We have been recognized by various the law enforcement agencies. We have had students, and currently do have students, not only in backgrounds, but have received forensic offers, job offers. If you want more proof than that, I mean, I can show you, I mean, what we're offering, and I encourage you to contact local agencies here, again, here in Southern California. I have students from virtually everywhere in the United States. I only had a couple of students from outside of the United States. And, you know, I can have testimonies, and I think I put testimonies inside the orientation class. So I just found this was a great question, but it kind of threw me off and thinking, trustworthy, what, you know, what does that person mean? So it's not a fly-by-night type of program. Again, we've been in existence for a very long time, and we have been accredited in the past before we aligned with mostly of a training program versus a school-based program. So if you ask that question, there's your answer. Let's see. Are the certificates credible? There's no certificates that I know of that are credible. It's the program that is accredited. There are programs that are accredited by the IAI, basically saying, hey, if you take this class, it's sponsored by the IAI, which is the International Association for Identification, and that you will be recognized as such. Currently, our program is not aligned with any forensic governing body, nor is it aligned with any type of school. And there are various reasons, but one of the biggest ones is in order to provide the training that we want to provide, we make the curriculum, and it's not a school that develops the curriculum, and it's not an outside governing body that develops the curriculum. It's all the instructors, including myself and our executive board, that comes up with the curriculum. And the curriculum is based on what the agencies want, what jobs are available to you, what jobs are being posted. And that is one of the things, because if they say, hey, you know, we want you to be able to know the different types of fingerprint powders, and that may be one of the questions in one of your interviews, we will teach you that. So it's that type of reasons why we do that. We are looking forward to being accredited with a training service. So that hopefully is going to come into completion in 2017, if not early 2018. But if you stick with me, I'll keep you posted. Another thing is we do try to keep our students informed of what is going on in the academy. That's why we develop online training programs for them. There are supplemental programs that all the academy members will need to take prior to applying to, or actually prior to when the academy starts. Now, remember, the academy is going to start in April. So the two courses are the one that is you're taking now or have enrolled in, which is the free orientation course. And then the other one is the essential ways to get a forensic job. That is a paid course, which I believe it's $39. Those two classes are the requirements in order to proceed forward in the Forensic Science Academy process of the application process. Now, the application process will open on Monday, the January 16th, and it will go on for a few months because last year we had, I think it was about 112 individuals that applied. 60 were selected to go further, and then out of the 60, only 20, I think 22 were selected. And there are various reasons, and generally the number one reason is that people don't have that particular type of time. They don't realize that it is a 6-month-long program, but again, it's 2 weekends out of the month. So, plan your time accordingly. And I'll get to how to apply and things like that. So forgive me, let me just kind of mark this off. So I won't lose my spot. Great question. Will the certificates be acceptable anywhere, including my country, Nigeria? That I don't know. I know that our certificates are professional proof, and they have been used many, many times, probably countless times, more than I even know, in job interviews or job applications, both here in the United States and outside of the United States. So it depends upon your particular country. I can't see why other countries would not recognize or would not accept a certificate that is authenticated, if you will, by my signature, as well as the course's instructor as well. So I've had calls from different states that, hey, I want to just verify this particular student's training. Can you tell me more about it? Yes, no problem. So we've never had any problems with that. And any foreign students coming to our program, there's usually an extra step that I'll take in order to make sure that the certificate is authenticated. Because again, it might be difficult for individuals to come and contact me only because of the time change or the time zones, different time areas. So great question. Let's see. Will the training involve labs? How will I be involved now that I'm studying online? The lab settings, let me go back. The program is not geared towards a crime lab position, okay? But the program is geared towards more of hands-on crime scene investigation, death investigations, and things like that. So you're probably asking yourself, well, why should I take some of these classes if I want to go into a crime lab? Let's say you have a hard science degree and you want to go into a crime lab and you're more DNA, specialist DNA, serology, something like that. You'll need to know a little bit about background of how the evidence is collected and the processes that the investigator takes to collect that evidence. And we've had that type of student. We've had students at, let's say, a police officer. I had one student, her whole thing was to become a police officer and then get that and go into becoming a detective. But she took the academy because she needed to know a little bit of the background of what she may or may be exposed to during her career as a police officer. So I encourage you to take some classes. You don't have to take the entire class or the entire program if you're geared towards something else. So for example, I had those students, actually former students of mine that are in the latent print division for LA Sheriff, sorry. And they came back last year to take a refresher. So I'm not going to tell them, hey, you got to take the whole program over again. Only because they're already in the field and they have a specialty. They just needed to get refreshed because they're getting that certified. So that's the type of thing that we would make the exceptions for. What is the GPA needed? The GPA coming into the academy, we don't look at that. We look at your transcripts. Anybody applying to the academy, we request that you send us the application fee, which is $30, and letter of intent, of course, the actual application, which is quite easy to fill out, and then a copy of your unofficial transcripts. If you want to send official ones, that's fine, but we're not looking for a GPA, mind you. We're looking for what your prior experience, education-wise, formal training is, and how it relates to what you'll be learning in the Forensic Science Academy. So there's really no GPA required on that. Nor is there a entrance test, anything like that. Again, this is a training program. It is not school-based. You're not going to get any type of college credits, school credits, because it's not aligned with any university. This is a hands-on training program, and that is quite different than the structure of a university or of a college. Another good question, will I be certified as a forensic investigator? No. Certification for forensic, any type of forensic specialty, crime scene investigator, death investigator, anything of that specialty, you will need advanced training. This type of training that we offer is to get you in the door. It's to get you started in your career. It's to transition you from where you're stuck, meaning you have a college education, you're still in school or whatever the case might be, to make this bridge over to a forensic position. Once you're in that forensic position, it's the agency that's going to be teaching you or sending you to a more advanced training. And it's then that, because you have all this experience, have all this employment history behind you, meaning as a forensic individual, you can then become certified through the IAI, which again is the International Association for Identification. And remember, I told you about the book, right? You can use that same book that you purchased in the Academy to study for, refresh for the certification for whether it's a latent print examiner, a crime scene investigator, an analyst. So we don't do that because, again, you're only with us for 6 months. To be an expert in your field will take advanced training as well as you being on the job for longer. So no, you won't be certified as a crime scene investigator. Currently, the seats are open. We're only going to accept, and I'm sorry, that was the next question. How many seats are available? We like to keep our courses, our classrooms small. We don't like to go way overboard and get a huge class. We find that you won't be able to connect with the instructors, and that is another benefit of that. We want you to get to know them as the forensic experts in their field and be able to ask them questions. And it's more of a small type of learning group type of environment. So right now, all 25 seats are open. We have had some students already applying. But again, the official time to apply is starting Monday, January 16th. And it'll go on till probably at the end of March. My advice, though, is to get it in as soon as possible, starting on that 16th, because it will go fast. We've been doing this for such a long time, and I can tell you that the Academy program does fill up. And remember, it's only offered once a year. Now, in between the Academy courses, we do offer workshops and webinars and seminars. So if you're not in the Academy, you can still take advantage of that. You don't need to register for the Forensic Science Academy in order to take advantage of the extra training opportunities that we offer. Okay. Let's see. I think I went over the days of the Academy. Again, it's two weekends a month, Saturday, Sunday, and one or the 2 weekends will cover the one module, as I said before. So if you have basic crime scene investigation, it's a Saturday, Sunday, and then you're done with that module. Okay, so it builds upon what you learned prior. Now, you may not know anything coming in, but we're going to teach you. So once you learn the basics of fingerprint classification, then you're ready to go for ridgeology. So you got that. Once you learn the basics of crime scene investigation, basic crime scene, then you're ready for photography, and then you're ready for advanced. Now, the death investigation module is the only module that does not require building upon really others. However, To take the class, you will need to have at least basic, as I said before, and advanced, only because you'll need to know what you're looking for at particular scenes, death scenes, if you're headed towards a coroner investigator, death investigator. Again, our instructor is from LA County Coroner. She's a great instructor, very funny, very humorous. We try to make it enjoyable for your time there, because you're with us for such a long time, and we get to know you as well as you getting to know us. So we'll do that for you. It's quite enjoyable. You will be exposed to graphic scenes and scenes that some may deem disturbing. We use that for educational purposes, not for exploitation or anything of that. It's a training thing that you will be exposed to during the real-time sessions that you have as you progress and you get hired as a forensic entry-level person. So you will be exposed to blood, scenes, blood at the scenes. You will be exposed to decedents. I don't know of any former student of mine who's now working that hasn't been exposed to that. So we bring those particular types of scenes and case reviews and case studies to you. So you in a sense will kind of know, what to investigate, how to investigate, what type of evidence to collect, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So those are the days for that. Let's see. How much does it cost to join the Forensic Science Academy? As I said before, you will be required to purchase a crime scene kit. And we'll give you the link for that. You'll be required to purchase a fingerprint kit. Now remember, these kits are yours to keep. And of course the book. The registration is $16.95 US dollars, plus the kit, plus the fingerprint kit, which I believe is $60. And I'm sorry, I don't have that information in front of me. I don't think I brought it. My apologies. So registration, the fingerprint kit, the crime scene kit, I believe is another $60, and then the book. So that would be your initial outlay for that. Usually any other costs associated would be such as if you need something copied, just something like that. So I would say probably everything would be under $2,000 US dollars. Okay. So we're going that. As I'm going through all this, the friction skin radiology, that's how most of our students look like when they're trying to compare their fingerprints. And you'll be comparing lots of prints. We challenge you. So if that's your forte, that's what you're sick for, we will challenge you with difficult prints for you to identify and compare. It's quite a challenge. It's hard, really, to look at prints every single day. But again, don't forget, you're going to have, there's always one of you that just loves fingerprints. Not me, not too much me. So it was a challenge for me, and I enjoyed it. But once you know it's fingerprint identification as well as comparing, it's easier as you go forward. That's what I'm trying to say. So you build upon the basic prints, patterns, and then you move towards comparisons. And again, we've got 40 hours of this, and it is quite difficult. Now, some of the external supplies that we would recommend, but not required for you to purchase, if you can see here, let me get to it, a magnifier. That's not included in your fingerprint kit, but we do have them available for you to purchase. So that's the next, I think those run about $100. And you can get them at Searchy or Arrowhead Forensics. We try to give you areas or vendors that will give you a discount because you are a student. Because once you start compiling your kit, basic, the crime scene kit and the fingerprint kit, it can be quite costly. So we try to keep the cost really manageable, really low. The dusting and lifting prints, you'll have the powder, you'll have the brushes. We just ask you to bring in trash. In this particular picture, you'll see a jewel case, some CDs, cups. I think what else is there? Some cards. So we try to mimic what you would be working with, for instance, the powders, and then any types of pieces of evidence, cups, a glass, Coke can, DNA evidence as well. So we try to mimic all that for you. Let me get to some other questions, and let's see. I think I went over the cost, right? I think this is another question about the classes online. How much is the tuition? I went over that. The classes online, they don't do you justification for you to learn hands-on training. We have a lot of theory classes being brought forward. For example, we're working on resume writing for forensic students, those wanting a forensic job, the fingerprint basics. We have some biological evidence courses coming up online. But again, in order to learn how to collect DNA, in order to learn how to preserve and collect blood evidence, you'll need to attend the academy because you'll get hands-on training. The fingerprint class, we can teach you the basics of that. We're trying to incorporate, or we will be incorporating homework for that, so you'll know at least the 3 basic patterns and what to look for in the basic comparing of prints. But again, it's a little difficult to do that on an online class, but we are trying to figure out a way. And like I said before, there are programs everywhere. You just need to kind of find them. And they can be quite costly, but if you invest in your career, your forensic career now, and the training, then you'll be better prepared to be the standout candidate for positions. Let me see. I'm currently working on a degree in administration of justice. Can you talk? Here's one. Can I speak more or discuss more about different degrees? Okay, here we go. For a forensic science position, you should have some science behind you. Biology, chemistry, not so much life science, because they won't look at that. Because remember, there's science in forensic science, right? So if you have a degree in criminal justice and admin and administration of justice, that's still okay. But my recommendation is to get some type of minor in a science, or load up your coursework with forensic related classes, webinars, seminars, workshops, because again, that admin of justice and criminal justice is geared more for law enforcement agencies. I'm not saying that it can't be done, because I've had students that have done it, but they've done it with the backup or the supplemental forensic classes. Now it's becoming more challenging and harder because of the forensic positions that are not available. I recently did a blog about where are the forensic jobs, and I think California ranked pretty low. It was Nevada that was pretty high. So if you're willing to travel, take a look at other states, other areas. Don't forget the Department of Justice, they have that. They have forensic individuals. The Army, Navy, their NCIS program service has that. The Naval Navy has that. So look at other ways. Private companies, they have it. Investigators have it. So always look outside of just this crime scene investigation position that you really want, and look at other ways to get trained, especially if you have a degree that somehow doesn't kind of fit right into it, but you can still get supplemental training for that. So don't get discouraged. Just do it. Let me put this up so I won't have to keep looking down for that. Let's see. Are there any intern or volunteer programs that I can get more hands-on experience? I think I went over a little bit of those. I'm all for volunteering, and I know it's difficult. You have families, you have a life, you have jobs. I'm still going to school, but my recommendation is to find something that will translate into dealing with the people, investigating something. I have a lot of students that went into loss prevention for retailers. I have one that is the lead investigator for Target for that. So there's other ways to get trained for a forensic career, and it's all kind of interrelated. So don't, like I said before, don't be discouraged. Look at your local law enforcement agencies. A big thing here in the United States, and I don't know so much out of the United States, is the thing called Citizens Police Academies. Google it. for your area. I know here in Southern California, there's a lot of those types of academies that are presented for community members. And this, and I know, I think I've attended at least 8 of them, been a member of that. And what it is in the community, if you live or work in the community, you're able to attend and actually you have to apply for the academy because they only allow so many people in. So if you work or live in that particular community, it's usually can be anywhere from 6 to 8 to 12-week program. It meets once a week, and you will be able to interact with people, usually in the law enforcement agency for that community. And these are great ways to get trained, to meet people, to network, to tell people what you're interested in, and to ask about volunteer opportunities within that agency. So look in your local communities and see what there is to offer. And don't discount the emergency type agencies of the Red Cross, or if you have a CERT training in your area, look at those to get trained, because you want to be able to say or write on your resume that you have this training and you network with this person, because there's going to be somebody out there that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. So that's what you have to do. Let's see, administration of justice. Should I complete my degree, my administration of justice degree, before I take forensic courses, or does it really matter which I do? If you're a great juggler, be able to juggle, let's say you're working and you have a full-time school load and plus the academy, hats off to you. I'll have a lot of students have done that, working multiple jobs in school full-time and then taking the academy, because remember, the academy is the weekends only. So it depends upon you. My suggestion is to see if you can juggle both, because you want to get your training done as soon as possible. Because I tell students, there may not be jobs right now, but you got to be ready, right? You have to be ready, because there are other applicants that may have more experience, may have more education than you do. But if you're ready and you've done those things, as I said in the 10 essential steps to your forensic career, you'll be more prepared and you'll stand out as a forensic candidate for that particular job. So don't wait. Because things, I always say, things get in the way, and you just never know what might happen. So yeah, if you can juggle everything, then do it. You'll be tired, but it'll be well worth it. That's actually what I did. I juggled everything. Let's see. How did you get into your career? Do you find that people with similarities to yourself outside of work traits? That was a question geared more for me. I like teaching. I like presenting things like this. I've had specialized training with the coroner's office, Orange County sheriffs, and other local law enforcement agencies, and I've been honored to do that, and been honored to help them help others. So that's what I like to do. I like to give back to others, and that was one of the reasons why we created the forensic.trainingunlimited.com for students who are unable to attend our academy. And it supplements the academy as well. So thank you for asking that. Let's see, how many seats are available? I think I went over that. What job will I be able to get after the program? Well, again, that depends upon your focus. If you want a job as a crime scene investigator, then you've trained for it, right? You have the education for it, you've been taking classes for it, then that's what you're going to set your sights on. If you want to get into death investigator, medical legal investigator, there's many names for it, dealing with the decedent at the scene, then you're going to train for that. So my thing is, don't close your eyes off to the many possibilities. I had one student who just wanted to get into a fingerprint position, fingerprint. Now, remember, the more specialized your discipline, meaning fingerprints, crime scene investigation, even death investigation, the harder it will be. I had one question, and let me go back. I had one question that there were multiple security type jobs, private security, school security, things like that. But why was it so difficult for individuals to get into forensic related job? Because the specialties are very narrowed down. It's a specialized niche, right? It takes specialized training, not to discount any other service oriented individuals or professions, but the forensic field is highly competitive, and they want the best candidates who have the best training. So it's not, that's why it's so difficult sometimes to get a position. So you have to kind of look outside that. So having said that to that one student, what she did, she got trained as a security officer, did about, I think it was about a year and a half, then had the investigative skills, right? She had the academy, she had her degree, and then was able to apply to and receive multiple job offers. So you have to look outside, you know, this immediate box and look around at what can you do in order to further along your career. So there are many things, many jobs that you can get. And I think I posted that up, or maybe I was a little too hasty in doing that. Let me see if I can get that up again for you. That's what it is right there. Let's see. You can see that. There we go. So there. There's so many jobs that you can get with a forensic science training and with a degree. You know, I've had some students that have received their sociology degree, psychology degree, and they're now working as a crime scene investigator. So, you know, let me get this out of the way. So that's what that is. So there's just so many things that you can do. I think I've listed a few things there. Odontologist, lab technician, forensic teacher, it's great. Anthropologist, again, a forensic anthropologist and criminologist, you'll need to have more specialized training. But this is a start for you, right? You have to look at it as your first car, right? You want to get maybe the basic model, right? And then as you get older and you gradually, you know, increase in your likes and wants for a new car. So this is the basic thing for your career. Now, again, it just depends upon where you're going to go. If you want to specialize as forensic anthropologist, of course you're going to need to get more training, right? And specialized training. Versus a crime scene investigator, our program, as well as any other classes you may take, that suffices. I've had some people that say, well, you know what, I'm getting my master's in forensic science. Will that help me in a criminalist position? Well, it depends. What is your bachelor's in? Criminalist position generally has to do with evidence and processing evidence in a crime lab. And usually those individuals will want or have a hard science behind them versus a master's. There's some that do have their master's in using chemistry, something serology, immunology, something of that nature, really hard science. So it just depends upon where your specialty is, what you want to do for that specialty. And that's why I always tell students, hey, you know what, you need to get laser focus and you need to figure out, you know, what you want to do. It's not enough to say, well, hey, Terry, I want a forensic job, you know, where I start. That's like saying, you know, honey, I'm hungry, okay, and I want a burger. There's so many burger places to choose from. You know, you may not like this one versus that one. So get laser focused. Find out where you want to go and start doing research and start reading, start asking people. I've said you should join, I think I beat this into you guys' head, you should join at least, at the very least, the International Association for Identification. You need to join forensic organizations that will help you establish your professional proof. So that's the very first thing. And you got to start reading, got to start networking. And if you don't have your profile on LinkedIn, you need to develop one. So that is what I've got for you. Let me get out of here and see if anybody's got any questions, and I don't think they do. So again, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm here for you. I want to make sure that you get trained as a forensic person, forensic specialist, a crime scene investigator, anything that I can help you with, I'm here for you. If you have additional questions for me, you can always contact me through the email address that is here. When I post this, I'm going to post the replay in the orientation class. Those of you who are unable to make it today, I know it's a crazy time, you know, on a Friday, but this is my day off, so I just try to do that. So anyway, if you don't have any more questions, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope to see you soon. And again, just to recap, it's a 6-month program. You need to figure out how to be here at least 2 weekends out of the month. We will give you a schedule. The cost is under $2,000. That includes the kits. And 6 modules, 6 training modules, 6 certificates. And I think, oh yeah, right. And the application process opens on Monday, January 16th, and will run for a few months. My suggestion, I highly recommend that you get your application in as soon as possible, including the application fee. And I will post all this in the orientation class. So thanks for being with me. I appreciate your time. And again, this is Terry Armenta from the Forensic Science Academy signing off for you. And I think that's about it. So let me get out of here and it will all be fine and dandy. And again, thank you so very much. I appreciate your time. Bye.